Hi guys, this is Miss Sunshine Girly T, and I'm doing a progress video of a custom I am doing for a friend on YouTube. And as you can see, I haven't started the other ones yet, like I was going to, but I feel that, Kari, I feel like your horse should be done first because you've been so patient with me and you've been really understanding. So, but just a note, I made this video far in advance to when I posted it, so it's not necessarily posted the same day I made it. So I did work on your horse, like promised. I just didn't have time to put the video on. Anyway, I'm starting with a base coat right now of the shade. I don't know how you can see it. It's only have very little of it because I made it for a horse for my Alvarozo I worked on. I made him into a bay roan. But it's just, usually start with a lighter shade, but since your horse is so dark, I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I'm using a brush I don't usually use. I usually use it for like just straight brush overs of, like lighter colors, like if I was doing a roan, like the white, putting the white over it, like it makes it give it a nice light airbrushing look. But as you can see, it works pretty well. I know you can't see very well. I'm sorry about the lighting in here. I can't really do much better. But yeah, I feel this brush is nicer because since your model is older, the horse you sent me, I know Peter Stone still uses the mold, but I'm saying what they used to make it out of, it's a lot easier to scratch. As I found out when I used my Dremel tool on your horse to sand. And so I'm just using this to do the base coat. And then once I do that, I will go to a different brush. This is just going to allow me to get that base coat everywhere I need it to be. But yes, your horse is giving me quite the trouble. So I really hope you enjoy her when she's done. And I really hope, you can show her and, with ribbons. Her prepping definitely was harder than what I usually had to deal with because, like I said, I found out she scratches so easily for mold. But I am really going to be happy when she's done. I think she's going to look really cute. I really like the color you chose. It's an unusual color. Most people want really flashy colors. So I really like that you chose some more, excuse the fly flare. I'm really glad that you chose a more brown color. This will actually be the first horse I'm doing in that color, so if this comes out really well, which it should, I'm not saying I can't do it, I've done it before, so this will be the learning experience for me as well as getting your horse done. I started at the back, like usually I'll put it all along the back because the back is the darkest point on the horse. Like if you look at any color, the back is always the darkest. Especially like with your buckskins and things like that. And that's where, and on your horses, like your bays with like a darker brown shading all over them, that's where you usually see it coming from, is the back down. So, yes, your horse. I've decided I'm not going to use the masking method for your horse's markings. I've decided I'm going to just go ahead and pastel the entire horse, then I will paint markings. I've only done the masking method once, and I liked it, but it did such raised edges. I feel like it'd be more for like a paint horse for nice, crisp markings, but your horse has some mapping on the stripe that you want, along with the snip, so I want to be able to do that. But, yeah. Go ahead. You usually hold by the tail, but since your horse, I have to hold it But as you can see the difference so far. I know it's hard to because it's lighting. Like I said, I apologize. I'm sorry. I mean, I can see just fine, but my camera also sucks. So. Yeah. But once I'm done with this first coat, then I will go and spray the horse. And I'll be back. But your horse is actually coming out pretty well. Like her first coat's coming out really nicely. Oh, and also I was wondering if you could leave a comment below about whether or not you want the bands in her hair painted and what color you would like them painted. I was thinking of doing it white, but I will let you tell me that because I know you didn't mention what you wanted if you wanted the bands colored or not. So I just want to be sure before I do it, because after I screw up, you have to start all over again. And I'm sure you want your girl back, or what used to be a boy back. I'm also just kind of brushing off any excess as I go along. But I do think your horse will look very nice when she is done. I will be sure to apply several layers of matte spray. When I first did the mare that you got from me, I didn't realize that it takes many layers of matte spray to make sure that the horse is properly sealed. I only did like 2, but I will do several on this girl, so that way that's why when you got my mare that she had like the ear rubs. But yeah. I don't know. This is starting to bug me. From when I originally sanded your horse, where the scratches were, it's leaving a little bit. I don't know if you can't see that, but it's leaving like a wrinkled look, and I don't like that. Hopefully when I go to my other brush it'll go away, and if not, I'm going to have to re-prep and re-prime your horse, so it will take, but trust me, if I have to, it'll be worth it when you get her. Like, that's, when I first did customs, and it took me forever to do my first one, when I got done, it was so worth doing all of the layers and putting all that time into the horse that I did, it made it so much more worth it, and the colors just showed through really nicely. I mean, that mare I sent you wasn't my first, she was actually the second one. And I made her into a dun like that because not a lot of people do duns. I don't see a lot of them. I see a lot of yellow duns, but not a lot of like orange Australian looking duns. So I decided to do that for her. And I originally had the intent of keeping her, but money needs and all that. Nobody knows that better than Breyer collectors or any model horse collector. But okay. And so your horse looks kind of orange at the moment. It's the first. Sorry, I'm brushing up some on my desk because I don't like to waste any. Because with this limited supply I have, I wanted to wait until, because I was going to order earth tones instead of using pastels like I usually do. I've heard earth tones are really nice, like they're not as opaque, like see-through as the pastels are. And I really want to try them. I wanted to wait till I got those to do your horse, but like I said, you've waited long enough, and I've just never been able to have the money left over to get them because they are more expensive because they are earth tones, but at the same time they're also worth it. They give you like a canister about that big, maybe like that big around, of the dust. And usually use earth tones, for those of you who don't know, use earth tones to make the colors with oil paints. You add water and voila, you got paint. But yeah. Let me get my other brush. See if I can't get rid of those wrinkly looking spots. Shoot. Where did you put that brush? Oh, by the way, your horse also has a little trouble standing. I don't know if you've always noticed that or not. But your horse does not like to stand much. Okay. It's supposed to be in my brush caddies. I don't know why it's in here. I may have to run another brush to make it. It's a brush I originally started using. The bristles kept breaking off, so I ended up just cutting off all the bristles off the end of it to where it was like a little stump, like the bristles were strong. And it worked really well, but I can't seem to find it. It's probably behind this area. Let's see if I can. Bristles more concentrated. Well, like I said, hopefully as I do more layers, it'll go away. If not, like I said, I'll start over because I don't want to give you what you paid for it, you know. And I would have had her done beforehand, but like I said, work's had me. Like this is one of the only reason why I have today off is because I asked for it off. The days I do have off, I usually sleep because I work a lot, and I know it's no excuse. I'm not trying to use it as an excuse, but it makes it hard for me to be motivated to do any of this. But I was looking at some customers earlier that people have done, and it made me want to work on mine, so maybe I should do that more often. But yeah, I will not paint the mane and tail until after you mention about the ribbons or not, whether or not you want them painted, because I can do that while I'm doing the mane and tail. But if you don't want them painted, just let me know. Well, the rubber bands, not ribbons. But yeah, that's pretty much her so far. Like I said, it's hard to see. Just look at her mane and then look at her body, okay? But I will finish her up at her first layer and post more videos. Okay? Alright. Bye for now, guys. I would continue, but then this video would be ridiculously long. Okay?